Welcome to Geek Out SA. We're episode 58. Wow.
60 episodes, man.
Almost 60. It is. We're almost there. We're like way over a year already, and we're going. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep doing it. Thanks. Well, congratulations, guys. Y'all have, well, you've been there.
Oh my God, I've been
from
here
the
for a long time. I'm like thinking here, like, wow, yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Terrifying in a way too. Yeah.
Why is that terrifying? It's awesome.
Everything's
It's
terrifying.
the coolest
in a way.
thing
Like,
ever.
When you're at anything for a length of time, terrifying.
And then we have, and then we've gone through people, and new people have come and
Gone through people, like literally, like went through them.
went through them. We phased through them like Flash.
Horse.
Nasty.
Horse. I mean, say horse.
Oh, we also have a larger team now, which is really awesome. We have someone who's been choking the...
Okay. But yeah, no, that was awkward.
We're on camera.
Because we can't hear Kayla.
Oh, what? No, I didn't say anything important.
You should. So I've been looking around. Amazon. Amazon is going to start doing 3D printing services. So you can go in and customize certain things and get it printed. And they send it to you.
Such as?
Well, they have like these little mini, have you all seen my action figure that I had made with my
Yes.
face on it? Well, they have like these little mini bobbleheads that you can do that are made of like the same powdered plastic that's molded together.
Can you make like little
Yeah, like-
bobbleheads of you? I have a.
Yeah,
friend that
you can
wanna
like
make one.
customize it like the shirt and the face and hair and
That
facial
one
hair
specific
too.
friend that is always nodding that you kind of want to make into a bobblehead. I have one of those. I want one.
It's called a mixie-me. I don't think that one is actual bobblehead, but they call it a bobblehead. I don't know. It's weird.
Does it bobble?
It does, I don't know. I haven't
be
bought
good
one
for
yet.
relationships.
It's like $30 though, and it's like this
Yeah.
big.
It's going to be good for relationships.
But they're customized, yeah. Because like if you want to say like, well, what does Bob say?
Bob
Okay.
says yes.
I think I paid like
Bob says yes.
It's important.
like $30-40 for my action figure that was like this tall.
30 or 40 bucks for your own action figure?
Yeah,
It's a steal.
yeah.
I would pay twice that much for my action figure. Because it would have to be like a lot more money because it needs to like form that chiseled 8-pack and like with like ginormous biceps. And I'm just like the action figure just walks around and struts his stuff. Just called Super Omar. Like he's super good looking and super buff and super chiseled and everyone wants to be him because he's so cool and everyone wants to just touch those muscles because they're just so firm and chiseled and nice.
But he has to have the glasses on
You
there,
should
or you
actually
don't
say
know.
that.
No, he'll have 20/20.
So when he walks.
Like any superhero has to have 20/20 vision. Like Superman's not going to go up into space and be like, "Oh, I forgot my glasses." And he'll go all the way back to the apartment. And go all the time.
Technically, actually, he can do that.
Well, actually, he does wear glasses. It's Clark Kent though, but those are not prescription. The transition lenses. Because when he goes into space and he looks at the sun, they have to turn dark, or else his eyes are going to burn out of his head.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've thought about this.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's a selling
I
point.
still want. I think the Super Omar action figure would be a big seller, especially if you said exactly what you said.
Just the whole
like
spiel?
just put the little thing and he says that.
Just press the back. I am chiseled. I am chiseled. I am chiseled.
I don't want a figure of me, so you guys can do that.
So back to 3D printing.
This is
The,
on a 3D printer.
I've looked at it, and all this stuff is kind of expensive, just like all the other 3D printing services.
Or printing
There's
services in general.
there's some places where, well, here some things you can print out in like metal, where like most people don't have printers that can print metal 3D projects.
Yeah, because mostly it's for the most part.
Mostly
all
it's plastic.
Plastic, yeah.
Yeah, it's either the ABS, the powder, or, but yeah, now they do have metal.
Well, let's be honest here. I mean, 3D printing is a relatively newer technology and a very disruptive technology. I mean, at some point, everyone's going to have a 3D printer in their home. This is just like maybe the first step of having that. I mean, imagine this.
Making it accessible, basically.
Yeah, making it very accessible. I mean, perhaps right now it's not exactly affordable for the average Joe out there to make an action figure of himself per se, but I mean, there's also a lot of design that goes into it as well, and understanding of how the software works along with the hardware. It's not something that's a very simple thing. So of course you're paying for all of that, along with a portion of that printer and all the supplies that go into it.
Well, I mean, it depends on the printer. You can get printers for like $300 now, sometimes even less.
Well, for 3D printers?
For a 3D printer.
They used to be like 2,000 to 5,000 even
Not
up
anymore.
there.
Not anymore. And the ones that are 300 are better than those ones that were 2,000.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah,
It
no.
just goes back to necessity too. Like, who's gonna buy those other than
Me?
people who just want them?
Mike has got his hand up
I
there.
mean, the reality is,
We have
it's
an
not
audience
really
today.
if you don't really have that kind of a background in creating those designs and stuff, it's
But
not
even
real.
then, you don't need to. You can download them off the internet, all the stuff.
Okay, say
For
that
free.
you put it in front of somebody who's never even had a computer in front of them, much less, it's kind of a mute point, basically.
And those people are shrinking like day by day by day.
What they can afford as opposed to.
Well, because they're dying.
Jeez! Oh my.
What are we talking? You're just-
Yeah.
No, that's okay. You're not gonna die. I promise.
Oh my God! But actually, one of our.
escalated quickly,
I know,
didn't it?
totally. Like it just ended with like everyone's death. Like. Yeesh.
So I'm sure the cost of this stuff is gonna just keep going down,
Yeah, it'll
down,
keep going
down.
down.
But when you actually have a 3D print done, it seems to be a little expensive. If it's plastic, if it's something that I want in plastic, I'll print it out myself if I want to.
What if you want it in latex? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You're just like, I'm
There's
allergic
a
to
market
latex.
for that. I can guarantee you.
Yeah, it's
on
called the
that.
third world. Like,
Where's the printer?
whoa, all right. So moving right along.
Oh, is that where that was going? Because that's not where I was going with that.
I don't know. You
Anyway.
and latex. I don't know where you were going with that.
It could be used for anything. It's like saran wrap.
That's not what people first think of when they use latex. though.
Sure don't.
That's another show.
That's
so.
a totally different show. Do not drink and drive. Just saying.
Do not drink or drive, or you're going to be in a car wreck, just like Lucy.
Oh!
The movie that I just saw last night.
What did you call that?
A Vince way.
A Vince
A
way.
Vince way.
Yes, Lucy. Oh my God. Scarlett Johansson starred in a movie about Black Widow. Not. Actually, it was Lucy. It actually did. It reminded me a lot of how Black Widow is, personality-wise, because she can play those characters really well. That serious, knows everything type. Like, I'm so badass and everything. But Lucy itself was kind of like a train wreck. Honestly, I wish I was expecting so much of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I wasn't expecting that much, but I was expecting more than
A
what
little
I got.
more than.
Yeah, it
was,
just came
yeah.
down to it played itself off as a psychological kind of thriller feel, more action-packed and whatever. I think that it kind of missed the point a little bit.
A little bit?
A lot of the ideas were outdated. The
Yeah.
concepts weren't very well thought out. That was my biggest dilemma and problem. Micah, on the other hand, his problem was it wasn't enough action
Mm-hmm.
and not enough of Lucy.
And the
herself.
action that they had really sucked.
It was just like they threw it
They're
in there
just
for the
like-
heck of it.
And then everybody moves away.
Just cool set pieces like that.
There's only like 2 scenes like that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I didn't. No, it wasn't good.
Yeah, we were talking about it before.
And I
too.
like movies a lot.
And that was one you just couldn't get into.
I couldn't connect with Lucy.
Well, it's
There was
because-
like one part that you could that she had somewhat of an emotion, and that was like the only part that you could somewhat connect with, and I still couldn't after that.
It's because you're not using more than 10% of your brain, Vince.
Well, my biggest problem was, of course, it plays
Science.
itself off as a psychological film. And like we had said with Ender's Game, sometimes those are hard to do,
Yeah.
given the fact that the audiences always get it. Well, Ender's Game executed it well. Whereas Lucy it started out a little bit. The Morgan Freeman bit was about the only thing that really was academically interesting at all. that made it sound smart a little bit.
If that, I mean, it's all one
Just
big
the Morgan
farce.
Freeman bit, and then after that,
It's just his voice. You just believe anything.
Yeah.
I know. Just believe anything that he says. He just opens
goes,
his mouth.
yeah, that's right.
But then
I believe it.
But then when Lucy was supposed to give those like mind-blowing concepts, it was just like,
I see what you did there. You said mind blowing. Whole movie's about the mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
It really wasn't about the mind at all. As far as I
Yeah.
could tell, I don't know what it was about other than somebody said it was artistic, which usually means that
You can't understand it.
yeah. It didn't quite make it to where it was supposed to, because there are movies that are artistic, like Black Swan. That was artistic. And then there are movies like Lucy, which,
Or not.
yeah, it was reaching like a sci-fi, but didn't quite reach the sci-fi level. It was reaching over into like this thriller, but it didn't make it over there either. I'm not really sure where it went. So I definitely was not a fan.
The science was a little bit off.
A little bit.
Well, it was a lot off.
Thank you.
I talked about this a little before earlier today on Talk Now SA, or I think it's called San Antonio Talk Today. Is that right?
San Antonio's
I think so.
San Antonio's conversation right now.
So that's filmed here at Silver Fox Studios, and no, I think had they changed it to using 100% efficiency of your brain, then I would have bought it. But by now, people should know that throughout the day we use 100% of our brain all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Your brain's always on until it's not.
And but had they used the efficiency,
It's
I would have
true.
bought it.
Well, it just goes back to, that's like a sci-fi concept that if you use, like if you activate certain, but I kind of get that, and I get what you're saying too, but I don't think that even using just that plot point, they really reached there. So I think it was the writing that really didn't quite.
Yeah, the whole plot reminds me of Limitless with Bradley Cooper, which I really enjoyed that
I
movie.
like that movie.
I like that movie
Yeah.
a lot because there was movement in it, and you still felt for Bradley Cooper because like he was just like this, washed out writer, and he actually has emotion, he actually has doubt, people actually leave him, whereas Lucy just becomes a superpowered badass that can stop time, and she can metamorphosize into a cell or something ridiculous. Like, and that's all about because she can activate her entire brain. But does a human brain actually have any of that capability? Can I become a cell just by myself? Just think about it really hard and just encapsulate myself in a tiny nucleus with the membrane around it, little hairs coming out.
Philosophy has argued this, and I was arguing with this mic on the way home. It
a
just
harsh
goes back to,
argument.
yeah, right. But it basically, what they were saying was, yes, if you think of the brain as not just like, the physical attachment, but that it actually conceptually exists outside, it's kind of like the soul.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of an idea that's run around the philosophy
That's like
community.
what, the duality idea? It's like the body
Just like
versus
when you
mind.
can have an out-of-body experience, the mind can exist without the body. So if you take that, then its power can be limitless. So that philosophy does exist, but the way that they used it made it it just didn't quite match.
Yeah. I'm not sure what kind of philosophy they're smoking, but
We have another couple of people in-house.
here we go.
I'm wondering what they thought about Lucy, if they had saw it or if they saw the previews of it or whatnot. Matt and Michelle, what did y'all think?
Go see Hercules.
So, I mean, we haven't seen it, but yeah, the whole 100% of your brain thing really turns me off of it too. It's like we already use 100% of our brain all the time, so I didn't want to see it already. Scarlett Johansson is hot though, so maybe if I just turn the sound down and have it play in the background. No, anyway.
It looked interesting, but
It was kind of an interesting concept, I guess.
what's the Angelina Jolie one that's kind of like that?
Salt?
Oh yeah, salt. That's right. Yeah.
Maybe think of Salt, but
Aren't they
That
making
was
a sequel to that?
action-packed. I like
Are
that
they?
They're
one.
I don't
making
know.
a sequel to Salt.
I never saw Salt.
Yeah.
Oh, pepper.
Oh, like I never saw Salt.
Who went there?
Gotcha.
Sea salt. No,
Sea salt?
I
Where
was
is that
expecting
connect?
a lot more than I got, and
Were you expecting
I
more
wish
full
I
frontal?
would have gone to go see Hercules.
Hercules was awesome.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That movie was a lie. That movie was a straight up fabrication of reality. It was a lie. No, it's not. Okay, the previews looked awesome, right? You have The Rock, like with a sword, he's battling all these monsters. That only happens in a montage at the beginning of the movie. Everything else is just talking. Of course, I haven't watched the movie, so if you've watched the movie and you really hear what I'm saying,
you say that?
because I've read articles about it. I read stuff before I go see it because I want to make sure that it's actually going to be
but
good.
I've read stuff, and then it doesn't translate
Oh, not
the
at
same
all.
way when I go watch it.
There was the other.
Like
Your argument
positive
is
and negative.
invalid.
There was another Hercules movie that came out not too long ago that we saw, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, it looks interesting. It looks like it had nothing to do with Hercules.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I've been seeing most often with Hercules movies. At least this one gives way to some bits of him.
Like that was the one with Danny DeVito as like the little like the centaur, and you had a.
That's Disney.
That's the Disney one. Got you again.
It's a centaur.
He's a
satyr?
Satyr.
Oh, a satyr. He's a
Oh, we
sadist.
have a picture of that.
Not
Okay.
Satyr.
Well, he does put him through a lot of training, and as a sadist, like you would want to hurt others. It all fits,
Disney movie we're talking
right?
about right now.
Right, yeah, it all fits.
I don't know. Aren't they the one that have like penises in the clouds and stuff?
No, that's the Little Mermaid.
That's
No,
Lion
that's the
King.
Disney.
towers.
That's Lion King.
No,
Disney,
Lion
right?
King just has
Yeah.
like the word coitus like in the leaves, a synonym for it. Because this frickin' podcast is for kids as well.
Epic Disney conversations that
Epic
slowly
Disney.
mutilated your
Kids should know about
childhood.
that too.
Yeah, kids should not watch.
You know what though,
Hercules.
Julia? If you ever tell her that stuff, she starts going like, she can't handle it because it
Starts
ruins her
crying.
childhood. And so you want to tell her everything that's wrong with these movies, and she's just like in her happy little
It'll
place.
probably mess her up if we like play some backward masking stuff and see.
What?
Backward masking.
What does that mean? Like the Pink Floyd thing where you watch?
Yeah, backwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just gotta say
Freak her
backwards.
I'm sure there's a lot of
Freak
things
her
that
out,
freak her
wouldn't it?
out, like
We gotta do that sometime.
a lot of things, like Miyazaki films now because Lindsay ruined them for her. She's like, that's a innuendo, and then she continued to explain the innuendo, and then Julia's like, you ruined a Miyazaki film. Like, there's literally nothing you can do to Miyazaki films because they're so preschool oriented.
You want to know what was ruined a little bit recently?
What's that?
San Diego Comic-Con. Do you know why? Because Stan Lee canceled.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
He canceled.
And people are
for being there Friday and Saturday or something like that.
A lot of people were
Laryngitis.
scared of that.
Laryngitis. Yeah.
He lost his voice.
But the article that I read actually mentioned that he was going to be at Alamo City Comic-Con.
Right.
But it was in the article. And I was just like, that's cool. That's us. That's San Antonio.
Hey.
Wait, what's San
There's
Antonio?
a lot that happened at San Diego Comic Con, which I
kidding.
don't think is even on the roster.
There is. I know people were kind of turned off. There wasn't any like Star Wars news there. Or they didn't really do anything there.
Well, I mean, there was Star Wars news anyways.
Well,
They
but
just
not
released
at.
San Diego
Comic-Con.
Comic Con.
Whatever, as if there wasn't enough news there anyways.
Yeah, they needed news.
They had.
News.
I only saw like the Thor bits, and that sounds sort of weird.
Thor bits?
Like when
like this-
he was talking about Hemsworth.
statue?
He was on the stage, and he was talking about how it was to work with Tom Hiddleston. That's because it's Tumblr. I got that one. That one around the
Yeah, she got
fandom.
the Thor bits from Tumblr.
Actually, that is pretty much there too. But
Yep.
I saw that bit. But then there's also the one about the girl who got beaten and
Oh yeah.
bloodied and unconscious. Found she was 17.
Oh, no.
I was actually gonna leave that one out.
Oh,
That's
I'm sorry.
I didn't want to make a big.
I did. I
downer.
put it on my page and everything. I was talking about it.
I don't know. And then, who is it? Andrea or
Adrian
Jan-
Curry.
Adrian Curry.
I watched that
America's
one too.
First top model. she was saying something about it. It was like, well, where were her parents and this and that, and then people like got upset at her on Facebook, and then she tried to re-explain herself because she pulled that post off. She's like, oh, I've been like molested and raped and this and that. I was like, I don't know, I wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
I know she's always there and she stands up for cosplayers because a lot of guys out there will be real handsy with the cosplayers out there.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Because apparently that is like one of the worst cons that happens at.
Well, it's one of the largest.
Yeah, there's
so
a lot of
that
people
is
like
the
doing
largest. So, yeah.
That's not cool though.
A lot of it
That needs to stop.
I know that had went around social media though because they were looking for information, but they looked like they caught somebody, but they don't know anything. I mean, like we don't know anything other than the fact that they just have that one person. So we don't know if there was like a group or if there was just, but she was just found unconscious the next morning. So
That's unfortunate.
yeah, I don't know what else happened at San Diego Comic-Con. That was the one that I spread a little bit on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Batman and Superman, the new Wonder Woman. I'm
I
sorry,
know, the new
I'm gonna
Wonder
get
Woman.
off on his little schedule.
Getting off my schedule.
Bids were already there.
Well, last week we talked about the issue of Batman
The issue of
that
Batman.
they were.
There are a lot of
giving away
issues with
free.
That was the
Batman.
reissue of Batman, not the issue of Batman.
His parents died.
I know, and that's the issue of Batman.
So, well, this is the issue because it was for his 75th birthday.
Yes.
Even though it really wasn't his 75th birthday.
No, because he
So,
was
'cause
born.
he was born in
month
May,
earlier. 2
not
months earlier.
June, yeah.
Yeah, no, a month earlier.
Yeah.
So we're a little late.
So Apple from Alamo City Comic Con went over to the DC booth and asked him, hey, why is Batman's birthday in June
And
when
they
it's
shut
supposed to be in
him
May?
down.
And they like, shut up, Apple.
Yeah.
I was
He is
like,
the Batman expert.
He
he is
is.
a Batman expert.
Well, I met
So I
him
don't
once, and I know already.
Lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff.
Speaking of Batman v Superman,
One day we'll all go. But Batman versus Superman, they showed the trailer there.
I wouldn't call it a trailer. I'd call it a teaser.
Well, it was.
It was a teaser
It
for
was
a trailer.
teaser.
Yeah,
It was a
whatever.
trailer for a trailer.
It was a teaser. I don't like.
It was a
being
trailer
teased.
reception.
Trailerception?
I don't want Superman to get hurt.
Really?
He can't really, you
Most
know.
He's gonna.
indestructible superhero.
That's the only thing you want for him to
Because like,
happen.
all I can resort to is kryptonite.
Well, yeah, because it's
Batman.
It's essentially a god that's afraid of a green rock. Like, how interesting is that?
He's not afraid of it. It hurts him.
Yeah, he's afraid of it. Like, we're afraid of pain. Like, you don't sleep on a bed of
Unless
nails
you're
every
a
night.
headiness.
Ugh, well, there you go.
He doesn't fear it.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't fear it. He just doesn't want to be hurt.
Yeah, because he's afraid of it.
Is he afraid of death?
It's okay to be afraid of being hurt, because that's what keeps you alive.
And Batman's probably like, well, I am death. You know, because in the darkness or whatever.
It's like, I can handle pain. Like, Alfred take care of me really well. Albert, hey, Albert.
Actually, you make Batman sound like a really spoiled child at this point. Because technically he is, isn't
He
he?
totally is.
Anyway, continue.
So the teaser that came out, every time it was released and posted on YouTube, it would get pulled down.
Yeah.
So I was able to actually get on one and download it, which I wanted to show it, but I can't because they're going to take down this video if I do.
Yeah.
So
They're going to take us out, too.
are they going to they're going to take us to San Diego Comic-Con?
Hey.
They're going to take
That'd
us to
be cool.
Arby's and give us diarrhea.
That was a conversation from earlier.
If Arby's wants to sponsor the show, then your sandwiches are delicious. If not, you guys give us diarrhea.
We really like Arby's anyway. And what a burger. What a burger. You are a friend.
It's a Texas thing.
Absolutely. Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah, totes is.
Anyway, back to what you were saying.
So, yeah, speaking of a Texas thing, Batman.
Superman is going to be the Superman we had from The Man of Steel.
That was Henry Cavill.
And, of course, Batman is going to be
Affleck.
Affleck.
Matt Damon.
Affleck.
Just kidding.
That's all that I
He's
think
going
of.
to be a duck. Affleck!
You just see Superman like flying down with his red eyes, And you just flip to the bat signal, it's just this little goose or
The
duck.
fan art that can come from this
Seriously,
is
just a
just
sad duck. It's like, sorry, Superman, but you don't have the right insurance.
Has anyone done that yet?
If they have it, I would like to see that.
Send it to vince@beachagames.com. Make it happen, Cap.
Yes.
That would be brilliant.
Yeah. Superman v. Duck.
Okay, back to Superman.
What was Batman wearing in that trailer? I want to talk about his outfit because, oh my god, that outfit. I'm transitioning for you to talk about Batman, please. For goodness sake, take this olive branch and just go with it.
So
That didn't
Batman.
quite work out. Is
I
what we
know,
said.
sure did not.
No.
Crash
So,
and burn.
no. I mean, of course, Affleck has been given crap about
Affleck.
being
Sad
Batman. But, I mean, we're going to keep readdressing this every single time. And Superman. Because, like, I know people didn't like the last Superman.
I thought it was entertaining. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
I really love the hard-hitting punches, though. That felt really good every time you saw it.
I mean, some people didn't like that he killed Zod, but
What else was going to do? Tickle him?
but they didn't seem to have a problem when he killed him in Superman. He killed Zod in Superman 2.
That's Christopher Reeve, though. That's different.
Well, you have the Batman and Superman thing going, because Batman, too, killed off the people in his, other than the Joker. And usually he was just kind of exiled to the Arkham Asylum, which made no sense because they would always escape somehow.
Someone's come back.
So it really never made any sense that he kept
Something's not
sparing him.
working.
But Superman, I mean, there was the whole injustice point was that he went off the deep end and finally killed somebody, which was against the Justice League and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's actually a good segue, but the fact that they killed Zod, because Batman and Superman, when they're going to be together,
You would like that, wouldn't you?
I'm not into that actually, but I do know people who are. I'm sure that's another fan art that could happen. Anyway.
Check Tumblr.com. I guarantee you.
But yeah, anyway, so
That's
when you
already
get Batman
there.
and Superman, they're balanced to each other. And Batman hasn't killed anybody except for the last. Okay, no.
He had when he was a vampire. Have you ever read that when Batman becomes a vampire?
That sounds.
It's called like the red. It's like called Red Rain or something, and he gets turned into a vampire by Dracula, and he goes through and kills all of his
No, it's true. Yeah.
like all of his villains. It's so awesome.
It's true.
Yeah. But and then actually Batman used to kill people in the old comics.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he actually like shot people in the old comics. Obviously doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, when they
But-
did the switch over with like the new Batman,
Yeah.
they kind of rewrote his.
Right.
Also, in that Japanese Batman game, he had like a little blaster on his hand. He was shooting like all the. I know it's not canon or anything, but it was like Batman shooting people with an arm cannon.
There was a point in that right there that gave you the answer as to why
The Japanese.
How can we make this into a mecha?
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of mecha, let's talk about Batman's outfit, please.
What is up with you and his outfit?
Because it looked freaking cool.
It
It looks
did
like a
look cool.
walking tank.
Except the freaking glowing eyes threw me off.
Oh, well,
Really?
he has night. You know, in the Batman Arkham game, they also had that.
LCDs.
That
bro.
was just, I
Detective
just
mode.
found it
Yeah.
just kind of strange that they're just like staring at each other. Superman with his glowing red eyes, and then Batman with his.
But those are his detective mode.
Well,
You have to switch to that with the.
I kind of feel like the whole point of it is, since it's Batman v Superman, Batman versus Superman.
And this is like mature Batman too.
Yeah, this is like older Batman.
Yeah.
So this guy's like, he ain't gonna take poop from nobody. No poop. No poop
Just
whatsoever.
staring at each
You say it
other.
3 times, it makes it funny.
I know.
Yeah, but Batman and Superman are going to balance each other out. And something else came out of that.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman!
Hey!
Gal
Hey.
Gadot. I actually posted that on my page and got some interesting remarks.
Like what?
People were like, oh, at one point they're like, well, another cosplayer could have done that better. And then the other ones were like, I'm really excited for it. And then the in-betweens, which were like, I'm not really sure. I don't like the actress, but my point and take on it was a lot of people's problem with it was there's no color. Like they completely
There's no
took out the
red.
color of Wonder Woman's outfit. And then there's the other point where Xena, they compared it to Xena. I was like, you didn't even try. But I do actually like the Wonder Woman warrior
it's just the
outfit.
color, though. The entire outfit is way different than Xena's outfit.
Yes, that's true. And Xena only had one outfit through the entirety of the entire show.
But the outfit that she had is more, the Wonder Woman is more like streamlined and more hard lines than the Xena one. There was more curls and scrolls and stuff. in
It's
Xena's
more Amazonian, and Xena's was more Greek, would you say?
No, it's still pretty Amazonian and Xena too.
Oh, okay. Well,
But yeah, I mean, I think that
That's
my
fine.
biggest problem was just the fact that there was no color. And I get people's point about the Gal Gadot thing, but like if we're gonna work with this, at least we have something to work with here. I can
Right.
work with this.
yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't say that it didn't look Xena-ish. The color is completely Xena-ish. Completely.
It was just washed out color. It was just like, woo, it's
It
just,
was just like it's just like bronze.
yeah.
So,
But I do like Warrior Wonder Woman outfits.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of cosplayers do those, like the
That's what
Megan
she is.
Marie
She's
one.
a warrior.
But they still put
She was.
color in them.
Yeah, if you ever seen the Megan Marie cosplay of the Warrior Wonder Woman, it is brilliant. Just the way that she did like the silver, kind of the New 52 version, except she plated the. That's what she's good at, Megan Marie's armor and stuff like that. So I mean, if you ever have a chance, go look at that. That's like my favorite Wonder Woman warrior outfit. But I'm glad that they did go with a warrior look.
Yeah.
It's something different, and I think it matches better with the time.
People just don't like her because she's not like Linda Carter.
Well, she's a model, and she's. What is she from? She's like Fast and Furious,
Fast
right?
and Furious.
Yeah.
she's
I'm
got-
just like, big whoop, man. It's like it's a new superhero that we have not been able to see on the big screen for a very long time. And I'm really looking forward to seeing like what they're able to do with this character and how they're able to mold her into this new universe that they're creating in DC Comics.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think.
think we've ever seen her on the big screen.
Well, that was that one animated flick like in 1982, but you know, whatever.
I think that
Just
the
kidding, I
biggest
know what I'm
problem that
talking
people had was that she wasn't that MMA fighter. That was like the really big one everybody wanted, and they had talked to her, and then they just kind of like, no, we're gonna go with this girl.
They should have gotten the girl who finished Ninja Warrior. That would be cool. Kayla Strong. I think that's her name is Kayla. I hope so. If I get it wrong, be strong.
But yeah, so that was pretty neat though that they put that out there.
Yeah.
They have the Trinity going now, but I wonder how they're actually going to put that together because it is Superman and Batman. So I'm wondering where they're going to cameo her and just if it's just going to be a cameo or if she's going to have a more active part.
But are they going just to eliminate that they are part of the Justice League, or is this something that's going to be before the Justice League? Because it doesn't seem like they're going to follow the comics.
They have Arrow, Green Arrow, but they have he's currently like Arrow, whatever they named him. But
Arrow.
basically that's what he is. They have the Flash coming out in television.
Yeah.
So they have like the major characters of the Justice League, but I don't know. I think they're trying to compete with Marvel too much and trying to come up with something so fast.
I mean, Marvel has more of a lighthearted tone to it, if you really think about it. I mean, if you watch the second Thor movie, it's a little bit darker than the first one was. But overall, like, you can always feel like, okay, the good guys are always going to win. Whereas with like the Batman trilogy that we've had with Christopher Nolan, those had a much more serious tone. A lot more things that were. Her name was Casey. Casey! Thank you, Ninja Warrior, Casey. Casey Strong. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Thank you, our producer Jasmine, for correcting me. What was I saying? Oh my God.
You just lost it.
I know, man. I lost my groove because.
Oh, Batman, you were saying
But-
got darker,
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but that's DC's signature in the more recent
but if we also look at
universe.
the new Superman movie as well, that one, Henry Cavill played it as a much darker, sadder, more kept to himself character. Like at the very beginning of the film, you see him, working on a ship, and he's lifting it up to save the people from the shipwreck and whatnot, or the oil derrick or something like that. I don't remember. But he's not really smiling. He's not being like the cheerful Clark Kent that we know of in the comics. So I think at this point, we shouldn't really compare it. Says the guy who was like really upset about that last episode of Game of Thrones. It wasn't like the books. Like, we should not, because comics go everywhere.
Oh yeah, they change the origin stories for everybody, every comic.
Absolutely. So what I think is to make it more, competitive against Marvel, to gain that audience and even more audience beyond that, it has to be unique enough, it has to tell a very good story, and it has to be something that people can relate to. Only then is people will pay the ticket price to watch those types of movies. You already have big names, Superman v. Batman, but you're adding in these other characters to reach out to new people who are also fans of these. If Dennis Haysbert shows up as the Green Lantern, like, I will just stand up in my seat and I will cheer. Because he was also the president from 24, so...
I like how I actually completely left out Green Lantern. Mostly because I don't think I recognize that movie.
Yeah, that wasn't a movie. I fell asleep watching that on the airplane. I was like, hey, Green Lantern, I can finally watch it. Nope.
And I think Ryan Reynolds could play a really good character, like a superhero, but...
Speaking of which, there was a trailer that... The Deadpool, the kind of like that fake trailer that of a movie that's may or may not be coming out. But were you guys, what was it?
It was funny, but it was done like, 3 or 4 years ago?
That's what I read as well. Like, they had released the HD version, which was so much better than watching it like this low quality. And by the way, like, all credit to YouTube and stuff, but when you try searching for something that is being taken off the air, like, immediately, all you get to see are people talking about it.
Yeah.
And like, you see like the little thumbnail, it's like, oh, this must be it. You watch it, it's like, hello there, this is so-and-so from Great Britain, and we're here to talk about the Deadpool trailer.
But I do like the Great Britain accent thing, so it's cool.
I watched like 2 seconds of it, and I was like, all right, dude, like, you're wearing headphones and talking to a webcam, I'm done.
Well, when Ryan Reynolds did a few years ago to that Wolverine movie that I despised.
That one movie that didn't happen?
And they never named that one character, but we all knew who it kind of was. But he was like, he always said, he's like, I've always been a fan of Deadpool. But...
What happened?
It's not happening in this movie. He's a fan of the comics and stuff like that, so it was really good to see that trailer come out and showcase what he could actually do.
Well, I know there was talk that he wasn't going to do it because his face wasn't going to show up enough as Deadpool.
Okay.
Because he usually has his face covered.
Yeah, and it's like scarred and everything too.
But
I mean, I don't know.
It may not have been true.
Yeah,
but
that's
what they were saying.
Well, if he loves the character as much as he had talked about so many years ago, I can't imagine. Yeah.
Might be just his agent. You know how they are. Because our agent is kind of mean to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes like she'll be really supportive. The other time she's like, it's just a hobby, guys. It's just a hobby.
And she blares
I'm of course not talking about Pauline.
No, I'm not the one that's gonna get hit now.
So they Vince.
Vince, you can get some hugs tonight.
But when talking about getting hit, when you hit your video game controller and try to level up like Matt does, what's going on, Matt?
We heard that.
Totes.
Yeah, that was not a good segue. That's all right. They're usually good. They're usually his. That was pushing it. So this week I played the Destiny beta, which I would love to say a lot of excellent things about it because it was really fun. Like, it was so fun to go and shoot people in the face. It's always awesome. But it kept crashing on me every time I would get on, like halfway through a mission. So I didn't play as much as I wanted to play of it. So I didn't get a whole scope of what exactly was going on, but I did really like the few parts that I did get to play. They toned down the difficulty a little bit so that when you're playing by yourself, you're not just getting creamed all the time. It's still challenging, but you're not just getting destroyed every time that you play the game. So the game is, and they're all laughing at me because I give really high scores to games because I only play games I like. There's no crime in that, but you know what? It's a beta, so I'm not even going to give it a score. Also because I didn't get to play it as much as I want, so I don't want to give it a fake score because I didn't get to play it as much as I wanted to. But it does look really good. It's coming out in September, and I can't wait for the actual finished game. There have been some complaints, so I want to see what you guys think. Let us know on Facebook that they were telling us that this beta is 25% of the finished product already. That's huge for a game designer to give us that much, but is that too small after the grandeur that they were explaining was going to be part of this game? So I want to hear what you guys think. Like I said, I didn't get to finish all of it, so I didn't really get the whole scope of how big it was, but it was big enough at least that I enjoyed it for the couple hours that I got to play it.
It looked pretty fun. It looked like Titanfall to me.
Yeah, it does have a very Titanfall, Halo,
Jetpack
vibe.
things.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun.
I thought that was bad.
No.
Jetpacks are fun.
Titanfall's awesome. Just play that game.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But what do you have for us for Pokemon Pod today?
Well, not too much has come out. Just don't forget to give Pavilion. It ends tomorrow. So, I mean, that's like the last time you're going to be able to get it. And Furious Fist is coming out in August 13th.
Yep.
And we're buying a booster box. So we'll be sure to put that
So
up
you
on
guys
YouTube.
will get to see us open it.
Yeah.
And also, I'm going to try to get my hands on one. They have this Charizard X box that has a giant Charizard X card in the back. It's like this big.
I want it.
Yeah, I figured we would want it. So we're going to get that too. But also, I promised on Facebook I would talk a little bit about Marvel Unlimited, and because they were doing the 99 cent for a month thing, and I picked it up just to try to check it out and see how it was. So Marvel Unlimited I like it a lot. It's only $9.99 a month regularly. So we spend about $100, $150 a month on comic books.
I'd say it's more.
It's probably more than that.
ballpark.
So $9.99 a month is incredible. But you really get to see the whole spectrum of Marvel. I read Amazing Spider-Man 121, and spoiler alert if you don't follow Spider-Man too much, Amazing Spider-Man 121 is the death of Gwen Stacy. It looked awesome. I love to read it. Yeah, sorry if you didn't know that. Like I said, spoiler alert.
You're in the wrong
but you're 30 years late. So at this point, get over it. Like now you know. Gwen Stacy dies. She dies in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Spoiler alert again. Sorry. Watch movies. No. Go outside. So anyway, I read it, and it was really good. Like you follow through. It's one page at a time, and you follow through, and it feels like you're like really flipping through a comic book, and it's really good quality. A lot of those older comic books, A, they're expensive and hard to find, and B, if you do find them, the quality can be. Man, sometimes the pages bleed through and the colors don't look as nice. So it's really handy, especially if you don't have, $1,000 to spend on some of these older comics and you want to still read them. It's great for that. Also, it's great for reading Marvel trash. I was looking through their list, which has 15,000 comics on it, which is insane. They have an Eminem and Punisher comic. Yes, Eminem as in Marshall Mathers and the Punisher in the same comic. And basically all of Eminem's dialogue was just stolen lyrics. Like, they didn't even try. They just took his lyrics from different songs and used it as his character model. And it was just awful. So, but just having that at your fingertips is really awesome. We're not endorsed, but Marvel, if you'd like to give us some of your money, we would love that. So, check us out. But thank you so much. But that's all I got today. We're going to go back to the main cast. Thank you so much for watching again today, guys. Bye.
And back at us.
By the way,
They are also part of the main cast. So,
We're all the cast.
yeah, we are all the
Yeah.
main cast. So you guys are awesome. Great reporting.
What I'm going to go ahead and do right now is we're going to go ahead and I talked with a game designer today,
Huh?
and he's from
He was amazing.
Meriden Games, and he designed him and a friend of his designed the game of Hurt Feelings, and we're going to go ahead and see that right now. Welcome, and I have Marvin Thomas here from Meriden Games.
That's right.
Cool, awesome. Now, tell me something. You do have a Kickstarter out right now for the game of Hurt Feelings.
Yes.
So tell me, what is the game of Hurt Feelings?
So the game of Hurt Feelings is a party game and it's for 3 to 8 people. And we were, my friend and I, Kyle Larson, we created it, and we were dissatisfied with the amount of interaction that most party games provide, and we wanted something that changed that, and after some looking, we decided maybe we should just make our own.
Nice,
what we
nice.
did.
So what kind of games do you ordinarily play?
Ordinarily we play more strategic, more in-depth games, but as the night wears on, lots of times you want to kind of get away from that, and you want something a little lighter where you can maybe have some drinks.
You don't have to think as much.
Exactly. Exactly. You get to make fun of each other.
Precisely what you mean.
You get to make fun of each other, and that's kind of part of the game, and you know, it usually brings a good game night kind of full circle, and it gives everyone a good feeling walking away.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, what you were going through, and you were telling me you play a lot of Magic.
Yes, I do.
So you decided to come and make a different game. What pushed you to say, hey, yeah, I can get this game and get it run and make it mass produced?
Well, we were looking at Kickstarter. I was using Kickstarter before we put it out there, but we were using it and we were saying this is a really great model because it allows you to test the environment and see if there's actually a market for your game before you go into debt producing it and wind up with a big warehouse full of something that nobody wants. But we made a prototype and we'd play it amongst ourselves and people would write their own questions. And
so not necessarily everybody knows what Kickstarter is. Could you give us a little more information about what Kickstarter is and what it can do for you? Sure.
Kickstarter, if you go onto Kickstarter, you can, as just anybody, you can go and you can look at projects, and if you see one you want or that you like, think is a great idea, you can pledge money towards it. Projects will have a goal, and the goal will be determined by them, how much money they need to get their project off the ground, and usually the amount that you can pledge is tiered. So let's just take our game, for example. If you can pledge any amount of money you want, like a donation, and we'll take that and hopefully make our game.
I know people are laughing at me right now because they know I've already put on a Kickstarter. Some people know. And no, it's, like you were saying, there's different levels that you can, but what are some of the things that you can get? Because right now you're like almost at 2,200 right now, and what do you need to successfully
We need $10,000.
Okay.
$10,000 will hit our funding. If we go up to $11,000, we can do a quality of life improvement for the game, like nothing slides around in the box. If we hit $12,000, we get to hire a professional artist and commission art from him to do art on the cards and the box and stuff, which will be really nice. And then we're taking it as we go, but we're gonna do more goals after that, like more questions or.
Very cool, very cool. And you are from San Antonio, Texas?
Yes.
Born and raised?
Yep. Lived here my whole life.
Yeah, so awesome. What high school did you go to?
I went to Alamo Heights High School.
Alamo Heights, very cool. So yeah, he's someone here from San Antonio. You should definitely support him. I know I have. I did it for the $40 tier, and that gets like what? What does the $40 tier get?
We have the game, and we have a box, and the box is made specially.
Can we get a shot at? Yeah, there we go.
The box is made specially for us by a company called, I believe it's Go7 Gaming.
Yeah.
He makes these boxes, and he took the logo you see on there is actually engraved. We sent him a picture of our logo, and he was able to engrave it on the wood. So the boxes hold all the components, and they look pretty nice.
Definitely. Now, a lot of people get into Kickstarters, and they don't necessarily ask for the amount of money that they're going to need completely. How did you determine how much you needed to get this done? Because a lot of people don't take into account the shipping that's going to
Yeah,
involved in that.
There's a lot of expenses. I mean, it doesn't seem like there would be that much. It seems like it's just the cost of producing the game, but you also have to pay for fulfillment. You have to pay for the production, obviously. Like the boxes we're making, we have to buy those from the guy and get them and assemble them and package them and ship them separately. We have to, we kind of have to pay for the prototypes we've already made.
Right.
Because that's part of the project, and it's not that much of a part of it. And we also built in a little bit of a buffer just for incidentals, because there's always something that you don't think
That
of.
you're not
So
gonna-
yeah, so there's a couple $100 in there that's just, what if this happens? What if that happens? And there's your pledges, about, I think it's like 10% of them don't go through for whatever reason. The person's bank account doesn't work or something like that, and Kickstarter also takes a fee.
Yeah.
So you have to, if you need exactly $10,000 and you get exactly $10,000 and they take 10%, you're going $1,000 out of pocket.
So what made you decide to go with Kickstarter instead of like Indiegogo?
Basically the exposure. Kickstarter seems to have more users.
They do.
And
They
it
do.
has a more, I believe on Indiegogo, if you back a project, they get the money regardless of whether you fund or not. That just seemed kind of, I don't know, disingenuous to me.
Yeah.
It seems like if we don't hit our goal and we're not making our product, you shouldn't have to pay us for that.
Right. So tell me a little bit about the game. So
Well-
how do you play it?
So the way the game works is everyone will choose one of the 8 colors. So orange, red, black, whatever. And you'll set out, if we fund and we get the play mat, we can offer that. But if not, we have cards with numbers on them. And you set those out 0 to 1 less than the amount of people you're playing with. So if playing with 5 people, 0 to 4. And everyone takes their chip. It'll be a poker chip, like a real clay regulation poker chip, and cards to vote for everybody else, but not yourself. So in a 5-player game, you'd get 4 cards, and they'd be whoever the colors were of the people you were playing with. Then, every round, you take a card, and it's got questions on it. You read one of the questions aloud, so who's willing to trip their mother in order to win a foot race? Something like that. And then you think about who at the table you feel that really applies to. You put your card down with that color on it. So if you think it's the guy who's playing yellow, you put the yellow card down. Well, everybody does that. Then you take your chip and you wager on how many votes you think you're going to get. So if you're like, I'm that guy, then you probably are going to vote on the higher end. You're going to get the most votes. So everyone votes, everyone puts their chips down. You reveal all the cards, and we found that it's kind of, it builds the suspense to do them one at a time.
Yeah.
But you do that, and then you get points according to how far off you are.
Okay.
So if you wagered you'd get 3 votes, and you actually get 2, you get a point.
So that kind of aspect, it's almost kind of like Wits and Wagers. Is that it?
It's got a similar scoring mechanism to that, but
How does yours differ from that? What's the real reason it's called the game of hurt feelings?
Oh, okay. So there's
That's what we want to find.
yeah. There's some pretty good stories about that. We have a friend who we were playing, and we flip over this question, and it's something about spite. It's like who's willing to cut their nose off to spite their face, and everyone puts their cards in, and we're all voting, and he votes like 0 or 1 or something like that. Well, it's an 8-player game, and he got everyone at the table. So we flip it all up, and he's got 7 votes for him. He goes, "That's not me. What are y'all talking about?" And it can be kind of a reality check for people if they think, I don't ever do this bad stuff, or I'm not, I never make fun of other people, and then they kind of do.
So, like, these questions are in the game, or?
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
We have 150 questions, I believe, are going to come in the base game.
Mm-hmm.
And we're working on a way. A lot of people that played it originally said our questions weren't hard-hitting enough.
Mm-hmm.
And we wrote some pretty mean ones. And we're thinking about moving some of those out and making them optional or like an add-on you can get.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, our group seemed to really enjoy the questions that hit pretty hard. But not everybody did. And we sent it off to some reviewers, and some of the reviewers coming at it with fresh eyes said, maybe you want to tone it down a little bit. And we thought, maybe we should just a little.
So, I mean, that part that you were telling me before when we were talking before that you've played Cards Against Humanity.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't necessarily like it as much, and you wanted to do something a little twisty on
Yeah,
that.
we
So
wanted
you
to do
kind of
something a little
combined
different.
these two different games, like Wits and Wagers, and a little bit like Cards Against Humanity, and kind of like mixed them together.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept. I can't wait to play.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You should try it.
We should do that.
And we actually sent a copy to Cards Against Humanity, and they looked it over. And this was another reason we decided to separate some of the more hard-hitting questions. It's because they told us that some of them were a little over the top. And we figured,
Wow.
if some of the people that were producing Cards Against Humanity said that it's a bit too much, then there
That's
might
pretty bad.
we might want to separate it just a little bit and make it more friendly.
A little more friendly.
I think more hypothetical situations really help with that. We have a couple that are like they say things like everyone's busted doing like a bank robbery. Who's the first person to cut a deal with the cops? It's hypothetical. It gives you a way of saying somebody's not loyal or a snitch in kind of a fun sort of way where they are less likely to really get hurt by it.
Wow. Now, do you go anywhere like in town and play tests with like new people?
I've gone to Alien Worlds as a game night on Thursday. I've gone there once or
Which
twice. The Alien Worlds in San Pedro.
Okay.
I've gone there once or twice. I took it to Dragon's Lair a couple of times out on Fredericksburg. They have a pretty good gathering, so I've shown it to some people there, gotten some feedback. I am friends with some of the people that run Heroes and Fantasies.
Yeah.
I don't think we've actually had any plays there. But to be fair, a lot of the people that go there to play things like Magic who are already friends with us, and they'll play.
I've been in contact with them, and they actually want to start doing stuff on Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah.
Because those are their late nights.
Mm-hmm.
So if like independent gaming companies want to go out and show off some of their stuff, or you can go out there and show it off, or play other games, because I think the bulk of their sales are for like Magic cards and like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that, or Pokemon. So they definitely want to get more into the gaming side
They
of
want to
it.
branch out. Yeah, Dragon's Lair kind of has a pretty good monopoly on that right now.
They really do.
They
really do.
They have a really intense selection. They do the board game nights.
Yeah.
Tons of people there.
Yeah, I like how they have a separate
room?
Separate room.
It's really
just
cool.
for gaming. Yeah.
It's really cool. I was actually there on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Monday they do their late nights, and I went there.
Very cool. Very cool. So, you're coming. How many more days do you have left on your Kickstarter?
I believe right now we've got 11 or 12 days. I can't remember exactly when we started it, so I don't know when it rolls over to the next day, but it's right in there.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So, if you definitely want to check it out and get it done, go back the Game of Hurt Feelings, because it's going to be really cool. I'm doing my little
The plug?
the little plug as William Shatner.
Oh, okay.
That's how you got to do it. But yeah, that's it. So check it out, and thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
It's fun.
We've had a great time. We had some good talks right before everything started. But yeah, the Game of Hurt Feelings. You got to get on Kickstarter. You got to go and support them. It's a really good game from what I've seen, because I've seen the play tapes, the recordings of the play, and I really want to play it. And you're really gonna need to demo it for me sometime.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely show it to you.
We're gonna start doing again over our first Wednesdays, which this is a first Wednesday, but next first Wednesday we're gonna do either game night here, where we're actually showing off a demo of a game.
Okay.
So maybe we'll ask you back and
that'd be cool.
play that game. That'd be awesome.
And I forgot to mention another place I go sometimes to play is a place called Top Deck Gamers,
I know where that is. Yeah.
right off Broadway. Yep, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely check that out. If they want to find out more about you other than just the Kickstarter, where can they go?
We actually have a website, thegameofhurtfeelings.com.
Cool.
And you can go there. I know nothing about web design. I didn't do it, but it looks really cool to me. And it's got, I can't think of any information you'd need that wouldn't be on that website. And you can even go there and submit questions. So if you had, they need to have this question in there, you could send it in and.
Very
We're
nice.
always
Maybe
looking for more.
get your question on the game.
Exactly.
That would be awesome.
Put you in the rule book in the back of contributors or special things.
That would be awesome. You should definitely do it. So
Yeah.
check it out. Kickstarter, The Game of Hurt Feelings. You have a Facebook.
Yes, we have
too.
Facebook too.
Check out their Facebook, like them on there, and
YouTube, you can go to YouTube.
Yeah, check out YouTube, and you'll see the gameplay on there. And but thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll pass it back to you.
Awesome.
No, I
can't wait to
wanna-
play it.
We need to play it.
Totes.
He's gonna
I
do
mean,
it.
yes, yes.
Did you just say totes? Wow.
What I meant to say was, yes, I agree with you 100%.
We're all gonna play it. It's
I
gonna
love
be
how
awesome.
you just have that face. It's all straight. It's just
And it's a guy that's here in San Antonio. Support it. He's at. He was at
the thing.
20. He's like around 2,200 right now, but he needs 10,000 to finish his goal
Kickstarter?
on Kickstarter.
Cool. Let's get that funded, people.
Do it. Do it. You know we need to. He needs it. They need it. Bring out another good game from San Antonio, like Pinche Games and Apt and.
Speaking of
Everything,
which,
it's all
like
good.
at the last Geekdom game night, we had a fellow come in who was also a board game developer, and he brought over some games that he actually, got off Kickstarters.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, like the quality of these games is just off the charts. There was one game, it was Panda Poker, and I was all over it. It was called
Mm-hmm.
Pendante, and.
I can't imagine why you're all over
Oh,
it.
I was all over that thing. Like when I saw it, I'm like, just like immediately. Wait, cut to my face real quick, because you gotta see what it was like.
Like dog and
That's not me, right?
This like
Like
they're like
that.
squirrel. You're like
Yeah.
panda.
Squirrel.
That's what it's like. Ah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just basically poker, but you have to lie to have the most fun with it. It's like poker, the expansion for poker, essentially. That's what it is.
I
It
don't
has
condone
pandas.
lying.
That's a lie.
I don't condone it.
So
Bothers me. I don't
Wait.
like it when people lie to me.
I've been lying to you my entire life.
Must have known him a really long time.
I
then.
know.
That's a lie right there too.
Like he's holding me like in his arms. He's like, "Is this mine?" And I'm like,
It's like a Doctor Who moment right there. It's like you were actually there when just because you knew you'd be with them later on.
I almost said totes. I almost said that. I'm really glad I didn't. Oh
That
my
was really
God.
weird though in Doctor Who how they did that.
Totes. Oh,
He's like he was there for the birth and then he marries her later on. It's like, what?
that's like Edgar Allan Poe.
It was awkward. When you think about it afterwards, you're like, okay then.
Edgar Allan Poe, that's really low tech.
I
But
like
not-
Edgar Allan Poe.
Like Tex-Mex, which is
Whoa.
very high tech.
High tech indeed. So
I ruined that with the Edgar Allan Poe bit.
I know you totally did. Like he was just
I
driving
love
in.
Edgar Allan
And here you are with like your trash truck and like, like just took him out. All right, so I'll talk about two stories today with Tex-Mex. Really big, billion-dollar story. Google acquires Twitch. Now we talked about this before in a previous episode of Tex-Mex, And this is kind of a big deal because Twitch gets 44% of the market for all streaming all over the internet. 44% of that is Twitch. We have a Twitch channel as well. Matt is doing stuff on Twitch, playing games on there like Guacamelee and others, which is really cool. If you guys haven't checked it out, please feel free to go to our Facebook and find out the link to check it out. So Google now has it. Now, one of the biggest fears that people have is
They're going to bastardize it.
they're going to mess it up. But Google has a tremendous back end. Like, have you seen the back end of a Google?
Smack it.
That thing is like bubble butt good. Like, it is like solid, right? And so we want to be, Twitch would like to have that, but they don't want to have like all of this like, well, if you have a Google Plus account, well, you also have a YouTube account, and you also have a Twitch account, and you also have an Orkut. All this other BS that comes along with all these other Google services. They want everything to be intertwined. This one nice little login page. I don't think that's what's going to happen, though. I think in this case, Google's going to take this. It's going to improve the back end, make it look a lot nicer and chiseled, firmer as well, not too much jiggle. Anyway, so and it's going to keep the front end and the way Twitch works the way it is.
You gotta make it sound so sexual all the time.
And they totally put you all nurtured.
Wow.
You're just like holding it in. You're like,
Wow.
like, I can't take this right now.
This is like the third time I got blushed today. On
that's
Talk
hard
Now
to
SA,
do. That's hard to
twice.
do.
That's hard to do.
On Talk Now SA, yeah, you were. Anyway, so let's continue.
We're like, anyway.
Anyway, while Vince is blushing, my big question is, what is their end game? What is Google going to get out of acquiring Twitch? Now, besides the fact that they get 44% of all live streaming on the internet, because not many people actually do live stream on YouTube like we used to do, because we're pioneers. We're pretty awesome like that, right? Right? Can I get a fist bump on that, please? Yeah, thank you. All right.
Would have been awkward.
I know.
Like, please do it. Thank you.
So, I don't know. Google, in its core, is an advertising company. So, if this is to get more revenue from this market, because gamers spend a lot of money in comparison to people who buy blenders. Have you tried the Ninja blender? Like, it is awesome. Like
Interesting analogy, but yeah, I see what you mean.
What other analogy could you come up with? I mean, come on, people.
It's a ninja blender.
It's a Ninja blender.
Is that like an obsession?
I mean,
Collecting blenders?
Have you not? There's so many ways to make a smoothie.
Maybe Keurigs, because you can get the little different kinds of coffee.
I don't know what you're talking about right now. I'm just kidding. So that's something to look forward to, or to see what's going to happen. Now, this one I was really excited to talk about. Apparently, intelligent life is dirty. So if you're out there and you consider yourself an intelligent person and you have a messy room, you're doing it right. This is why I say that. I'm a dirty person. I'm just kidding. So the good people at Harvard astronomy. It's completely different. I'm a Taurus, by the way. They're going to be launching the James Webb Space Telescope in the next couple of years. And the goal with that is to actually look out into the stars and look for pollution. Because the idea is that intelligent life will create pollution. Now, the best that they can do at this point is to be able to look for planets that are orbiting white dwarfs. And what a white dwarf is, it's a white person who's actually very, it's Tyrion Lannister. Like planets revolving around, oh God, stop it. So a white dwarf is a star that basically has died, but it's shrunk, and so it's still warm. And so there is possibility for life to occur on a planet that's orbiting one of those, because there's enough heat emanating from it, enough light.
But they
from
just
it.
need to be closer.
They need to be closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how close. I want to say, oh, it's about Venus close. I don't know. I'm not a white dwarf, clearly. And so, I'm a Puerto Rican. Anyway, so those planets have to be in their atmosphere, have to be giving off enough CFCs, which is chlorofluorocarbonates. Yeah. Science teacher over here, she knows. or CFC for short.
It's the stuff that comes out of, they used to come out of like
Yeah, they-
spray cans, hairspray.
Aerosols. Yeah, they completely messed up with the ozone layer.
Mm-hmm.
In order for us to be able to find intelligent life, they have to be emitting out at least 10 to 20 times as amount of pollution as we are here on Earth. So the intelligent life out there is really, really dirty. Like, they don't even care about burning like fossil fuels. They're like, I'll do it all day. I'll leave my car idle outside just because I can. Gas prices are that low, you know? I can totally bet you, like somewhere, some planet, somewhere.
Now this is a theory, though.
No, you're a theory. Like,
This is not fact. This is a theory.
yeah, this is a
Of
theory.
what it might be possible, but
Yeah, but in a universe of infinite possibilities, could you not think that there is a person who is more of a cochino than you?
no.
Says the guy who's like, I blushed 3 times today. 3. That was the first time in 36 years. I don't blush. I make other people blush.
Yeah.
Because I'm the blusher. I'm the mother blusher.
God.
Wow.
Is that
That-
a new title?
The mother blusher?
The mother blusher.
It's just like, it's like, that escalated quickly. It's like the comic book cover, like he's walking into like a grocery store and everyone's like,
And then you see Kick-Ass out in the distance. Mother. Never mind.
oh yeah.
You didn't get
because-
it.
because Kick-Ass- oh my God. So let's go find some dirty aliens, is what I was going to end
Let's
that
go
segment
do
with.
that. I mean, I don't necessarily. I think the Earth or any other planet produces a lot of pollution all itself. We don't contribute enough to make a difference.
I think intelligent life in general contributes to pollution, but there's also the fact that human race, based off its societies, have developed more because of that. So would it be a societal difference, or would it be?
I would think it would be a vegetation difference. Like, here we have like this wonderful balance, right? We breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide for the most part. I mean, our entire atmosphere is not 100% oxygen, because if it were, we'd be high all the time and probably dead. But let's just talk about like the cycle. So we breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. Vegetation breathes in carbon dioxide, gives off oxygen. That keeps us alive, right? So what if on a different planet, they don't have that sort of system? What if they're just dirty?
You need water for life, dude.
What if you don't?
Well, yeah, because each species has like its own, per se difference in what they need for nature-wise, habitats and stuff like that, environments that they grow and adapt to.
What if the planet has nothing but bros?
Oh,
Yeah.
there's that too.
Yeah,
But
what if
that's
they're so
dumb.
smart that they eliminate pollution altogether, even the stuff that the planet creates itself?
They're
They
so
have, like,
smart,
scrubbers
they
in
can turn
the
salt water
air.
to fresh water.
Oh my God, they
We can
can
do
do
that.
Wall-E.
In Sims. In SimCity.
But yeah, no.
I don't know, I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good theory.
He's like
You're
that
a good
theory.
theory.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I
Well, we
wanted
really
to tell
are.
you all about a giveaway that I'm going to go ahead and do. If you find out, and you'll find out on Talk Now SA that was aired today, what I have around my neck, that's not the mic, sorry. If you can find out what this is on Talk Now SA and let us know about it, you get a free copy of Apt. But none of us are included in that. We can't win it.
That's rude.
Never happens.
I always get that one.
I'm just gonna leave the show so I can do this this contest. That's true, you can.
Oh, right.
And another thing, Aquaman.
Yes.
Aquaman, the San Antonio cosplayer that we see all over the place. He's also part of the River City Wrestling. He's an announcer there.
Yeah,
He does a lot of
he
them.
does a lot of charity events.
Yeah, I was
He
gonna say that.
he's been to all the conventions, every single one. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
He goes to hospital visits. I mean, he's just really a fantastic guy.
He recently had a stroke. what was it, over the weekend?
On Friday night.
On Friday night?
Yeah.
So they're actually doing a
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have the link that I can share on the page.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll put that up on Facebook, and we wish him well, and we want to see him out there in his leotards out again and having fun with his wig.
The last update I heard, he was doing much better. Like he's improving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he went through kind of, when you're in the hospital, you have a lot of complications that come about. The
Yeah.
bleeding is gone. He's breathing, normally again. So now, I hear a lot of updates on it. So hopefully in the next few months, but the recovery process is going to be one of the most expensive things, especially for the family, since he had been unemployed for, they said, almost like a few years now, for a good deal of time. And finally was actually about to start his teaching job. And then just the week after, and unfortunately that came about, and yeah, so the family does
and
need
this
a lot
isn't
of
even the
help.
first time that it's happened. This is the second time he's had a stroke.
So send him some support. Like
So, yeah.
definitely send money, whatever you can, cards, love. If you know Jonathan, you've probably already done it already. But if you don't, this guy has done a lot of good things for people all over San Antonio. So please, time, money, anything that you can offer for him and his family to help them through this very difficult time, it would be greatly appreciated by everyone in the community.
But thank you for tuning in. It's been awesome. We've covered a lot of stuff and had a lot of fun. Got to find out about an awesome new game that'll be coming out pretty soon, and hopefully that'll get funded and it'll be out there. If not, I want to play that prototype because it's going to be awesome. But I'm Vince.
Vivian.
And I'm Omar.
Geek out, SA.
Thank you.